Hello, friends. This is Giuliano. Welcome to another weekly roundup where I'm going to go through a bunch of price charts, of crypto price charts, really, against the BTC pair. Of course, BTC against USD as well. And so we're going to get right into it. We have a bunch of charts to look at, a lot of price action to talk about, and I'm very happy and excited to be here to share with you. And I'm glad that you're here listening. All right, well, we're going to start with BTC price against USD. And what a wild week. We are currently in the 7th of March candle. And yeah, this past week was just a big up and a big down. But what do you know? The price broke out of the Ichimoku cloud on the upside, but came back down. And although it closed green and there was no wick below, none of significance. So that's an interesting consideration. No wick below of significance, but a narrow body, a lot of price action up and down. So very volatile week, but overall, it's kind of neutral in some sense. It plays with this whole potential sidewaysing structure. And yeah, we've got our box drawn out from previous levels. And then of course, these wicks are there as a possible dump zone. All right, but the body levels here at the lowest end. So that's the general sense for BTC is, will it play within this Ichimoku cloud here? And the thought is most probably yes, but there is also the possibility of falling down below in a significant way, closing below and staying down there. That's the difference is if maybe the price, based on this previous candle, the thought was, boom, we're gone, but didn't even think twice. It wasn't even a week of a fake out. So what happens is we've got this down, this potential. Oh, sorry, where did I start? Oops, we've got this down right here. Okay. Yes, sorry. Down, up, and wherever. Like, are we still in the up? That's fine, because this can kind of retrace a bit and then further fall down. So whatever. We're just generally taking the trajectory. So the question is, are we doing a lower low and then even a higher high, and then a lower low? Wow, and then maybe we're finished. That's possible. The concern here is closing below the cloud in any significant way. So that's one trajectory, is an expanding trajectory here. The other trajectory is where the price would in fact be contracting. So, well, I want to go from the same place. I'm just hitting the wrong keys today. So the other option is, something more narrow, okay, where we narrow in where we narrow in the Ichimoku cloud. I'm gonna get rid of this again, and you just get that sense of down, up, down, up, down, with a higher low and a lower high narrowing in within this cloud. That also gives time for Bollinger Band to start narrowing a bit as well. And then price at some point, who knows, maybe it would jump over and then just hold a bit and then gone. Who knows what this would all look like, how long it would take to play out. But this sense of like April, May, towards June seems like a reasonable time frame. Having said that, we have previous timelines here that are drawn out, and I'm going to get rid of them now, but I just would like to recognize that price is within that range of time, now exiting it to the future. So we are moving towards this line of A plus B equals C. if we were counting like an A and a B and then all of this being a C. So we'll see what we end up doing here, but this seems a little drawn out. You never know though. You know, with volatility wicks like this, we could getting price action, like I said, expanding or contracting. The other option is still trending down. So we had this one and we have this one, and then we have, you know, something wherever it's going to be and something there. But then that one's a tough one because you are really fighting the cloud at that point. And not only that, like at the same time, are you, depends if you're closing here or are they wicks like these, you know, if they're big wicks like this, yeah, there's a better chance if it's closing still at, you know, 35 or whatever. Anyway, so we'll see how this ends up looking. We could also take, you know, relationships. This might even fail, you know, there's always these possibilities. And they, like I said, wicks, you know, bring us down here, or even closing one candle down here for a week and then coming back up right the next week. I mean, the fake outs like that could happen. So yeah, these are the considerations, but really this cloud is such a key support resistance zone. So we really want to watch that. Also with the MACD, we'll see what kind of rounding we get. Do we get a little bit of a relatively negative spell, one or two of these bars, but overall we're going relatively positive, completing this, whatever this move is within the next month or two. And when I say month or two, I'm not including March. So really we're talking 2 to 2.5 months, maybe 3 of action here, depending. But when we look at the monthly, it changes. Maybe 2 months seems reasonable. Let's see though. We are going to see how this all plays out. The Bollinger Bands, like I said, looking to eventually narrow a bit more to give us some more of a energetic windup. And yeah, so let's watch the trajectory, the path of the price, whatever it's going to do in here, and then let's see where it is here. All right, that's exciting. Overall though, it's looking good. You know, you're getting strength down in these levels in terms of buying. And then the previous week was an all and up week before the down. So this week we'll see what ends up happening. And yeah, there's room to go in both directions without having to really exit this kind of a box. And in this case, right now we're here. So will it break above to the upside or will it stay below in this lower box end? All right. And then when we relate that again with the Ichimoku cloud, it's all here. So are we going to be kind of flirting with the upside of the cloud and above the cloud, or are we going to be flirting with the lower end of the cloud, or somehow is it going to chop through the middle? What kind of wicks are we going to get? We go down to lower time frames and we can have better ideas. But basically, yeah, the whole range is in play right now. All right, that's BTC on the weekly. For this roundup, we are going to move on. It's uncertainty is for sure the name, and also at the same time a lot of hope for the next stage, which I should say is up. However, I do want to remind and recognize that there is that other scenario. I know I'm talking about these scenarios like they're certain. There is that scenario where the price does break down below the cloud and it can't hold. And then likely it's a 200-week moving average around the 21,000 level. No, probably yeah, 20, maybe it'll wick below at that point. And then there you go. And then from there, you rebuild. It might even hit teens, but we will see what happens. Yeah, that's completely possible for sure. Okay. And we might see things like that on other charts. Let's see what's going on some of these altcoin charts. We're getting to that pirate chain in a moment there. That one's an exciting chart, I must say. Well, stay tuned for more detailed information on that one. So let's look at Komodo KMD getting a return back to the downside. Last week was another big red week. So let's see what this looks like. We're again at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We are touching these type of downtrending resistance, but yeah, really it's this. It's like narrowing Bollinger Band, is coming. Ichimoku cloud is all the way up there, so there is room to test. Yeah, it's either that or it's just going to be like there is, well, depends where you measure from. Well, either way, like you've got this narrowing of the cloud. It's either going to dump or it's going to pump up, like push over the hump of the 20-week moving average. And then there's a potential to shoot up towards this level. And that's what we're trying to include in our possibilities here. And other than that, though, the other direction is down, and that's where this 1,000 Satoshis line is in play for us to watch for. Okay, all right. That's it for the KMD thoughts right now. We're going to move on to the Pirate Chain, where Pirate Chain had a very fascinating bump over the hump of the 20-week moving average, and then retracement back to the 20-week moving average. Hold as support last week, nice candle, a good price action, keeping above the 20-week. So it might need to confirm that as support, but this is a pretty good indicator. And here we are, narrowing of Bollinger Bands after a big drawdown. Stay tuned, I'm gonna come through with a more historical price chart as well. And it's looking good. And I think we are looking for a markup on the Pirate Chain. It's just against BTC. Now, of course, this could be signaling just a fake out and we're gonna dump lower, okay? But since this move up, this is the first time it has gotten back over the 20-week moving average. That's big news. And it is the nice site there to behold, a strong support at the 20-week. Okay, patience is great. And here we are again with this zone here, this zone here. Okay, we are going to watch and see what happens here. All right, how long do we stay here? What's going to be? What's going to go? All right, yes, here we go. That's good stuff for the Pirate Chain. Okay. And then of course watch lower time frames, and it correlates what is happening on the price. Okay, now let's move over to some more crypto charts here. We're going to the ADA price chart, and we are going to see, oh, that's the monthly. Yeah, more downside for ADA. So here we are at the lower end of our rectangle that we drew some time ago. I'm almost sad that we finally reached here. I swear. That's a correction. That is like, this is a 5-wave impulse. This is a correction. If you can hold, let's retrace this whole move. Now, do I say it's a 5-wave impulse? Like in a true sense, I'm not sure. We are breaking below the 61.8 retracement. So in that way, okay, maybe it's a complete market cycle, an impulse and a correction, and they neutralize each other, and we will find the next market cycle. So, but that's not there yet. And here's what is there, okay, in this price action is the lower end of the Bollinger Band. You're just touching it for the first time since you've been up here. So there is definitely potential for a move up. Top of the Bollinger Band, lower end of the Ichimoku cloud. Take a bit of time to get there, whatever. That can correlate with this whole move as a sideways move, okay? Maybe it's not that, maybe it's just this. Maybe it would just be this as the sideways move, but you already started it here, is in my opinion, or at least here, okay? So whatever happens, it's like you have a down, you have a sideways, and likely do you get another down, or is this thing itself a down and then the sideways? So we'll see. That's pretty cool. ADA, looking decent now. Now that we are down here, it's half decent now. You're at these levels here. Okay, these levels here, strong levels, and then you got your 200. If you start dropping here, which at this point, I think you're in a good place to start if you want a ladder. I mean, none of this financial advice, but why not? By then, you're at these levels. If it's still no good, I mean, then you cut it. I don't know. Here's the like the really low levels in the 1,000 level. You know, at the end of the day, if we are going true bear market and this thing is going to go up first before it goes down more, then yes, you're looking for, in that case, the laddering might have been to go here for the hope of it going up. And then if it breaks down below here, you just get rid of it. Or maybe you use the 200 as your level. I don't know. It's up to you. Or you're a hodler and you just hodl. Okay, what a price structure on ADA BTC. And here we are. This is a fascinating time for ADA price chart. I do see potential strength in this zone here between where we are now and the 200 moving average. You might ladder in down to there, and then if it breaks below in a significant way, forget about it. I don't know. Or if you're using it, obviously these are great prices if you're trading from Bitcoin. And yeah, let's look at some indicators. Look, you are in a decent spot on the RSI, although it's not completely oversold. You're in, I mean, how much more of the negative momentum you're going to pull before you push some positive momentum? So yeah, there's some, at some point it's coming. When, I don't know. We can just take a look at some relationships. Here's a 61.8 at the 1800 level, 1900 level. So, and then a 78.6 is at the 1300. So ultimately, maybe you can catch a push higher. But if it does push higher, the high likelihood is a push further down below on a potentially on a strong Bitcoin move, or just on the next full complete bear market, or whatever's happening. You know, sometimes a market has its own momentum. ADA was moving in its own pace while other things were doing whatever they were doing. And so it can still move at its own pace while other things are doing what they're doing. And speaking of which, we're going to go and take a look at what other things are doing. So I'm going to get out of this price chart, but it's been nice watching ADA price over all this time, and I'm enjoying it, and we're going to keep coming back to it. So if you know any ADA fans, ADA holders, ADA traders, ADA lovers, ADA haters, send them this video, and yeah, give them the timestamp, of course, because it seems to be a long video. All right, that's it for ADA price chart against BTC. Now, THETA against BTC, not super duper much to say about this, except we are still in this narrow corrective drawdown trend channel. That's the name I wanted. We are holding nicely at horizontal level. This previous price resistance, now potential price support. I'm liking this zone. To be fair, you know, again, similar to ADA, maybe gets a bounce. I don't know. We're at the lower end of the Bollinger Bands. So it's either further dump now or bounce up. And at this point, you haven't been above the 20-week since you broke down here. So could even get above. Well, that would be what happens on a like a B wave or something like that. And it would get above and then it would come back down. Something like that to complete an overall structure. Does it have to do that? No, it could do its triangulation or something else on a more horizontal level. So that's why I think that this is, again, half decent anywhere in here. Well, at that point though, if you're down here, you might as well be looking over, you know, over here. But then it all depends what you're doing. Everybody has their own situation. Yeah, so these levels are significant. So I guess so are these levels. I mean, I really want to bring this box down, don't I? But then we have this is important. And yeah, so I guess that's why we're just going to keep it how it is. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to recognize, the reason why I'm getting these feelings as well is the momentum indicators. You know, there is possibility to just give a bit of a return to the upside, especially look at the MACD. It just is begging to cross over. It's just a little bit of blue it wants. It doesn't care. It's just been so negative for so long. It's just, well, to be fair, this is all relatively positive, but it's interesting how the price goes negative as this goes relatively positive. That's just a slowing of the selling momentum, or yeah, whatever, something like that, right? Okay, now I'm going to get out of the theta price chart, but that's an interesting one too in terms of the levels and where it's at. Yeah, fascinating. Onward. Okay, we move to ICX against BTC. Just to quickly look at where are we? We're below major indicators, lower end of the Bollinger Band, 200-week moving average, 20-week moving average, lows of the lows. So what is happening here? Momentum-wise, it's just also begging for some positivity here, but might take a bit of time. Let's see if we are going to break. Maybe this one is also ready to give a little push back to the upside. Maybe it's only going to get to the 20-week moving average, or Ichimoku cloud, which is around the 25 to 3,000 level. Yep. We'll see how this works for ICX. Big drawdown as well. I like bringing these charts. There are different ones. There are some like this, which are all the way to the downside, and then there's others which are all the way to the upside. And we're going to take a look at that. For example, with DERO, oh, we're down a couple thousand Satoshis. Yeah, we are. Yes. Okay. So here, okay, here's the deal. DERO super strong with this move out of the channel to the upside over the 20-week moving average. Touch the top of the Bollinger Band, come back down for support, get some support. Now, here's the thing though. It did get all the way up here, but there's selling wicks, and the lows are lower than the previous, the highs are lower than the previous highs. So it's still making lower highs, okay? But there is this Ichimoku cloud here. So there is potential to sideways it if it can manage that. If the DERO market can manage a strong accumulation, let this be a reaccumulation phase, then, probably from this, let that be a reaccumulation phase, then that's good for a next big move up. I would like to recognize that on the momentum indicator, it's going positive. However, that could just be short-lived. But there you have it. That's where this Ichimoku cloud comes into play. So you really got to hope that you're above the 30,000 level by May, which, considering some of the way the other price charts look, I think that's reasonable to think. So let's see. And maybe that means BTC is going to have some choppy action sideways and go up, go down. We'll see what that all looks like played together. And the other option, of course, is a breakdown and then keep going down. Maybe we even break back into the channel as you break down below the Ichimoku cloud. I don't know. None of this is guaranteed. None of this is advice either. But yeah, you know, when you make a move down like this, you make a move up as a relief, and then you look to make a move down, unless this was your move down, your move up, and then your move down. And then this is something new, which it could be, but based on the length and degree of this move here, let's look at the time frame. Yeah, you're at about a 61.8 level here. So, I mean, maybe May. And in that sense, maybe it chops around this zone here, and you know, Bollinger Band comes up, it gets a narrowing opportunity. Yeah, that's pretty cool. DERO's been looking super strong, and yeah, been exciting to cover this one. So there you go. And I hope you're enjoying that for DERO price chart. Next, we're looking at Origin Trail TRAC BTC. If you have any requests for price charts, let me know, and I'll be glad to try them out. Again, reasons for bounces, whether they're sustained and new bull markets is, I don't know, I don't think so, but maybe, I don't know, I don't think so, but maybe. Here could get a bounce to the 20-week moving average, but still struggle to get above the Ichimoku cloud and then be relegated here for a little while. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go for these. It has retraced so much. Like, wow, what a move down. It has retraced so much. Here's the 200-week moving average. Okay. Here is some key price level. We're going to bring these drawings back in. Key price level. This key price level here, bang, 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 right there. I mean, so yes, I'm thinking you get a nice opportunity to hold here. Maybe this hugely negative momentum starts to turn. So this hugely negative starts to turn relatively positive. Maybe you start bouncing here. This is a key level to hold. Although you get your bottom of the Bollinger Band all the way down here. So right now, currently around the 1100, 1000 level. Whereas, maybe the thing is your 200 week is right here. So you want to at least hold the 200 week at about 800, 900 Satoshis, 888. But either way, you're pretty much at the low of the lows. There's no, if you're into Origin Trail, or if you like what you're seeing here, I mean, you start laddering in at these levels. Look at what it did the last time, and it has shown that in the new bull markets, it's willing to participate to its previous levels, and it is making higher lows. So that's all in all a long-term, very healthy and good sign. Then again, this is a TRAC BTC chart, so it could chop forever. All right, now. But still look at the chops, like the volatility of the chops, right? Okay, and we look for where are the good times to get in, where are the good times to get out. Okay, that's basically the idea, isn't it? Isn't that what everyone's trying to do? Okay, none of this is to be taken to the bank, though. You gotta do your own legwork. I'm glad to be here showing and watching and following charts with you, and I wish you all the best out there, because yeah, I want the best for everyone. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I want the best for myself too. And here we go. So now we're on BNB. What is going on here? We can go up, we can go down. I mean, are we going to make this massive lifetime head and shoulders? I don't think so. I think more of this SE curve is better. But we'll see how this ends up going. Where is, okay, everything is being displayed. Oh, we're on the monthly, that's why. Oops. Okay. So what are we looking at here? We have this uptrending support line. I'm gonna just dampen this a little bit, the background. So we have this uptrending support line from back here in March of 2021, and then also in October of 2021. Wicked below, but still holding it, but squeezing up towards this 20-week moving average. Bollinger Bands are narrowing. So currently lower end of the Bollinger Band is around the 800, or yeah, 878,000 Satoshis. Yeah, will it even touch the cloud? Possibly. You could wick, but this is looking good. Now the thing is, the squeeze on this uptrending support could bring it down to touch lower end. We were at top of the Bollinger Band. Maybe you still need to come touch lower end can always wick below the Bollinger Band. You did it here. So who knows what that'll look like, but yeah. And yeah, you know, you're on this downward movement. You went from up to down to up to down. It seems reasonable, but you are at the halfway midway point. And if BNB is so strong as it looks, then you have some room to go higher, but looks like I think it wants to just drop below the line, maybe come down here and clear this energy out. If it could clear out this space here, that'd be some good space to clear, because as it clears that energy out, it provides even a nice energy to go up as well again. Yeah, then again, of course, we would say if it holds this uptrending support line, then that's even stronger energy, and that means that energy came from here, and that this market is just looking to massively accumulate BNB. That's the basic idea that we see here. But looking at this move here, the question is, are we here where it's kind of it's gone up, but then it's going to do its kind of sideways down boxing corrective area and still go higher before the bigger bear market drawdown? Or are we here at the bigger bear market drawdown where you go up and then you have a bigger bear market drawdown? I actually think we're here where there is still room to go, but maybe we're not, oops, maybe we're not all the way, maybe we're not all the way at the lower end here yet. Maybe we're still, I don't know, just here or something like that. We did our first part like this, and now we're trying to do the second part, whatever that means here. Where is it going to go? Maybe it's going to be a move one that goes higher or it goes lower, but it's just this part of it. Okay. Yeah, you know, all along, this just feels like it's the best area, best risky, like low risk area to get in. So we'll see what the market wants to do. Interesting for sure. BNB price chart. What a great price chart on a lifetime price chart. Just look at that price action. Incredible. Okay. Thank you, BNB. Let's look at the link price chart, chain link. Yeah, chain link, we've already carved out some levels, and it's gone below the 200-week moving average, down below the uptrending, so basically broken down below this triangulation. Could still be a deviation. We could still see the price getting back over, especially as we exhaust the negative momentum. Yeah, who knows? This might be a low, and it might just actually wind up and go push up higher here, and then it could come back down. But that's the momentum of the RSI. So yeah, there is still opportunity that this is just some sort of deviation, or if it's not a deviation, then maybe there will be a retest of the 200 week moving average, and then further down. That's possible, or bang, you're done. You're already on your down move, and you're going to keep going. Yeah. This is still. I mean, the Bollinger Band gives you hope, gives me hope, but this 200 weekly is not a pretty sight. Like it would have been much nicer to see it going here. Oh, anyway, it is what it is. Maybe this just gives us a better signal, though. It's already broken down below it. Yeah. Then again, here you are at a very key support resistance level. So if anything, if you're going to turn around, this is where you're turning around. If you're going to turn around, this is where you're turning around. Okay. There you go. That's the basic idea on Chainlink. I'm glad we can catch that. If you're going to turn around, this is where roughly where you're going to turn around. Now, does that turnaround mean a rejection at the 200 week? Does the turnaround mean a rejection at the 20 week? Does 200, does the turnaround mean a slow grind up to the Ichimoku region and then further down? I mean, that's actually pretty decently likely as well. Although slow grind, look at all the up moves. The up moves are always volatile in crypto, aren't they? They're strong, fast to the upsides generally. So, so yeah, I would probably get a faster move to the upside and then slow grind down further. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, we're out of, unless you get, because yeah, even if you get back up in here, you're just going to get here and come back down. Are you really going to break through this already? Well, possibly, unless Chainlink is going to suffer what some of the other altcoins that have had prices high going down to low levels. It might just keep grinding down for a year, I don't know, 2 years. Could grind, and that grinding could include %70 pumps when the time comes. You could grind down and have your 70% pumps, as we've seen on many coins. So not saying that's what's going to happen at all, but let's watch out. Definitely watch for a support here and a move up, but watch for where is the resistance going to be? Interesting. All right, still making lower highs. So yeah, horizontal level, important. So that's it for Chainlink for now. And we move to, yeah, let's take a look at XRP. For all the XRP friends out there, look at this. Narrowing Bollinger Band. You got the Ichimoku cloud here though. What's gonna happen? This is so tense. It's like watching it's like watching episode week by week and just wondering what's gonna happen on the next week, because you're just, but it's so slow moving. It's like one of the maybe from the anime where the scene just takes forever to play out and it's just back and forth at maybe at the 2 or whatever characters are there, and it's just so drawn out. And that's what we get on the weekly price chart. But we have here these narrowing Bollinger Bands. We're into some positive momentum territory. Can it carry further, or is that it? You know, where is this going to go? It's going to break down further. Obviously, the market participants are going to react based on news. There's no doubt. News about the legal scenario. Anyway, we've got this 200-week moving average here calling the name of XRP for a nice test, and we've got this little hop over potential from the Ichimoku cloud. So maybe it could do that. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Thanks, RP. Yeah. All of that. Let's see what's going to happen around here. All right. Okay, that's XRP for you. Dot price chart. Dot price chart could get some nice support here with this being a deviation if it wants. You know, if the market wants to support here, this could be it. You've gone from low of the Bollinger Band to the high, actually double tested it. It came back down, broke down below a little bit, but you're kind of just sliding down. It's not really tearing it down too hard. And so, yeah, you kind of bounced off of it. So now you're away from the Bollinger Band ledge. And so is that going to give an opportunity to find this as a horizontal support for a bit of a turnaround here? Look, you've got this negative momentum is going to become positive again at some point. When is that going to be? Maybe soon enough. But maybe not. You know, you're already down below this uptrending support. But the good thing is you're at this potential horizontal support level, which could be more significant. So we'll see what this ends up looking like. Again, it shows this opportunity for whether it bounces now, which I can't tell on the timing, but or just continues lower first and then bounces. But I think the sense is this level here, where you have this 20-week moving average, you have this horizontal support resistance level, and the remnants of the Ichimoku energy is a nice kind of resistance level, and that's I think around 60,000 satoshis, and you are now currently around the 40. So is it going to go down to 35 or even down to 30 levels? In which case, I mean, you might as well get into the 20s. So yeah, I think this is a reasonable zone. Anywhere in this box here seems good. And in fact, I mean, are you even going to get into the box? Maybe your only chance to get in the box was like the wicking here. Maybe we were too stingy with our boxing, and we could have started it from this level here, and then we would have had some nice wicking into our box. Anyway, okay, so here you are with DOT. You have to go on lower time frames to get a sense of what's happening, and is it going to be turning around potentially? Yeah. Okay. But I think we're going to move on for now. We're going to go over to the FTM chart, which, you know, some news is news. But the idea of going from the top here, at least to the 20-week, was always on the table. And once we started moving below it, the question was, are you going to hold here at this uptrending support line? And the answer was no. The answer was you're going to get rejected. You're going to come down here. Okay, let's go like on a daily price chart. Okay, to make this happen on the weekly, it came down here and then went back up and tested this zone. But on the weekly, that means it wicked down here, wicked back up here to test the 20-week moving average as resistance, failed it, broke down below. Now it's finding support at our first horizontal level zone. Okay, so I mean, the levels are never pure and exact, and that's why I think laddering helps, but also being, depends how conservative you want to be, and also how much you want to give up to. So, boxes are nice because they give a bit more of a region as an area. Anyway, if you have any comments about what works for you, put it in the comment section. So I guess we are here, first horizontal level. We've got this stair-stepping Ichimoku cloud as a potential support eventually when you get a turnaround of news, but maybe that's just going to look something like this. I don't know. We are below the 20-week. I do think eventually it will come back and test it. In terms of momentum, yeah, I mean, you saw what Cardano did, right? So this thing could keep going into this zone here. In fact, I mean, I won't be surprised if it does, but I also won't be surprised if it bounces up first and then comes back into that zone. And then what does it do from here? That's a good question. That'll be, again, based on sentiment of the market participants. Are they going to be hearing a lot of negative news about, delays or things not being done, or, more of the reasons why they're feeling so negative about it right now? Then probably the move up would just lead to a further move down. Otherwise, maybe you get your support eventually when some confidence comes into the market at these types of levels. For somehow it just works that way, and there's enough good news that makes confidence in the market say, oh, boom, we can get a move up after we had our move down, and then we can maybe find support. And wow, look, FTM is a huge thing. We told you all along. So maybe. But beware of the Ichimoku clouds that angle up to the right while the price angles down to the left. That's generally something that happens as well. Okay, so that's FTM price chart. We've got some ways to go. You go down on lower time frames if you're doing trading, and if you're looking for good levels to buy. Again, this is probably more of a short-term buy. You really want to see like what kind of action it's going to do when it bounces. So even if it bounces from here, what kind of action are you getting? Currently you're here, you're maybe like a 20% move. So it's up to you, whatever you're going for. Yeah, anyway, that's it. So we're going to watch the price probably move up at some point. Maybe it's going to break down first, but FTM is on the bearish trend for sure. Okay, next. Let's look at Sol BTC. Solana against BTC. Okay, so Solana broke down, still hasn't tested this level. Is it even going to, or are we just going straight through this Ichimoku cloud leg? Yeah, it looks like it. If we're going to be breaking this uptrending support line, then yeah, of course. Otherwise, we're going to bounce and go to the test the 20-week moving average, okay, which is around 31,000 satoshis. Okay, but there's not a lot horizontally. There's nothing here on the weekly to hold this up. I mean, at most you have this level where you had the break in the week to week. But yeah, I mean, just wait for this. Why not? The way it's looking is it's going down here. I don't know what the pathway is going to be. Is it going to be this first? Feels better if it would be this. That just makes more sense in my opinion. We're going to see though, this is going to take some time. Like by then we're in May and June. What about the other ones that are going to be going up? So in that case, maybe it is going to find its bounce and it's going to go up. Maybe that's what it's going to be. And then all along, this will have been a tremendous deviation out of this kind of boxy zone here. And, you know, price gets in, continues, and whatever, goes higher. Or maybe at that point it breaks below the trending line, but it finds its support and then goes higher. I don't know. This is against the BTC price chart, remember? So, and look what happened to FTM and look what happens to other charts. So there are always news that give the market participants a certain sentiment, but the price charts are always indicating what would be most likely anyway. And the thing is, this price chart has gone through quite a bit of negative momentum, but it hasn't fully cleared out, I would say. So that's why it's a tough call right now. Yeah, it's kind of in a not a clear zone. It's better if it's back up above here and then showing some strength, you know, some relative strength. Whereas here, there's no horizontal supports until down here. So it's a tough one. Yeah, that's Solana on the weekly. Okay, we have 5 more charts here. We're going through AVAX next. Avalanche. One of the much stronger moves in price action. It did break below this uptrending line, and that's fine. But yeah, maybe it's going to be one of those BNB style where it does a sideways consolidation and then it's going to move higher. Currently, we are looking at a really strong support at this 20-week moving average. However, this is where we start to get danger, because this could just be a whole lot of distribution. We have this Ichimoku cloud here. We're just grinding the 20-week. We're skimming with this wicks, still making lower highs. Maybe it makes another push up to the top of the Bollinger Band, but then quickly comes back down towards the lower end. Or maybe it just needs to go to the lower end first and then come up. But I don't know how long it can wind around the 20-week. It's got to push away either to the up or the down. It just can't test it that much. You know, even something like this where it goes up and then it goes down, might be going down and then up, whatever. Anyway, starting to get narrowing of Bollinger Bands. Something's going to be coming here. In terms of the momentum on the weekly, and of course, I bet the daily would give us so much information. If you want more details on any of these charts, like you want me to look at dailies and stuff like that, just let me know which ones you would want me to show you more daily price charts. Okay, yeah, see here, this thing, it's just so sideways, it could go either way. Oh, these are when, this is when they seem so difficult to get a sense of what's happening. Let's bring back some of this action here. And it doesn't really tell us anything new other than we were at the lower end of this channel. We went to the upper end, down to the lower end, reject off the upper end. We can only say that the lower end is a reasonable play. Now, there are a couple of pathways to take there. You can go straight up sideways, you know, which would involve probably some chopping, whatever, okay? Or you can go down. And then who knows what happens after that. Because remember, this is a BTC price chart, right? That means that this is the USD price of AVAX could be going up, 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 but this price chart could chop or do whatever it needs to do. So those are a couple of options: sideways, down. I don't think we're going higher yet, but again, you know, I'm no expert and I could be wrong about that. So that's just my humble opinion that really has no strong basis. You know, I mean, once we get over these levels, then yeah, I think we're going up here. Okay, but until we get over these levels, I don't think so. So what I'm thinking is we're probably going to stay on the lower end of this, and it just wants to go down to the lower end of the Bollinger Band. It wasn't at the lower end of the Bollinger Band since back here. So I think lower end of the Bollinger Band at least, and then we'll see where it goes from there. All right, but beware of this price action because yeah, it has room to go to the downside on the RSI, and yeah. But then again, you saw what Luna did, and we're going to check out Luna. So this is still possible that it has one more pump in it left. Yeah, especially, but if it's going to come, it's going to come like now, in the sense, not now, no FOMO, but look, you've gone up, down, you're retesting this 20-week. If it's not now, then you're going to break down. Otherwise, if you're going up here, you're not, you know, you're either just going to retest the top of the Bollinger Band first and then really come back down, which you see here, okay, or yeah, or you're going to just squeeze it up to the upside first, and then maybe you'll get your chance to come back down and get some support here again, possibly. Or if you're really, for some reason, you know, these, I don't know why this would happen though, because all of this looks mainly corrective. So I don't, but yeah, something new could start here, but it just doesn't feel like it. So that's the overall sideways thinking of Avalanche. I think it's a good chance that we're going down towards the lower end of the Bollinger Band. Okay, all right, we'll see how that works. And that, but yeah, at that point though, if you're going there, I don't see why you're not breaking down. That's why I want to also leave it open that that there is still a half decent chance. Like that's why it's really a 50-50 idea here, where it could be going back to the upside first, and wherever it goes from there, I don't know, but at least for now, might pop up. Yeah, but to get that kind of momentum, I just don't see that in the indicators, and that's why I would choose the downside if I had to make a choice. All right, one choice is to just sit by and watch, and that's what I'm actually doing. All right, so that's it for AVAX. Now MATIC, and then we'll get to the aforementioned Luna. MATIC against BTC. What's going on here? Well, a slowing of momentum onto the downside, so that's good, right up to this kind of support level here. So I think you're pretty decent here with MATIC against BTC. Having said that, though, the momentum indicators say it might just get a little relief bounce, but there needs to be more negative momentum cleared out of the system here. It's just the sense that I'm getting. So let's see. Let's open up the MATIC on the weekly. Actually, no, let's just play from here. Let's do a quick start with MATIC BTC. Okay, so we'll trend line ourselves in here and say, all right, we're good. We're pretty good here. I mean, this is the first thing, but at the same time, we're pretty much on the edge. So I can see a bit of a bounce, but to be fair, we're on the edge, So now let's see some horizontal levels that make sense. I mean, obviously where it is right now horizontally because of this price action up here. So yeah, and that kind of gives that, but because of the upsloping relationship that's happening here with this trend line touch points, if it breaks down, I don't think it's just going to be a small breakdown, unless it's a deviation that starts going higher a lot faster. Otherwise, it'll be the beginning of a more protracted move. So in that sense, we have to here and to here. So we'll take to here, okay? And then we can also put in about halfway here. Okay, so something like that. And yeah, I think we're gonna go down into this box. Are we gonna break below it? Maybe not. It does seem to have some strength going forward, but we'll see though. It could. But I do see this box in the future of the MATIC price chart. That's just the sense I'm getting here. So let's see what happens. Okay. Lower end of the box, 2,300 Satoshis. Upper end of the box, 3,600 Satoshis-ish. Okay. That's good. That's it for MATIC for now. Luna BTC. This is the one that has oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I started just wondering what this might look like. But anyway, like you could be getting the last move of a 7-move pattern here, potentially, because just either that or you're going to be ending your impulse at some point. But I don't think this is an impulse. So let's just go over to, oh, this is a daily. What are we doing here? Let's go over to, yeah, so, okay. Firstly, you're building this this bearish divergence, right? Like you're technically, the price is going higher, but look at your momentum indicator, okay? If we look at Ichimoku, it's down there. Oh, wow. 200, Bollinger Band. Wow, nice bounce off the 20-week moving average here. So maybe, what was the one that was Avalanche that was running the Bollinger Band? So maybe Avalanche is going to run back to its top again, similar to Luna. I wouldn't be surprised, and maybe Luna money is going to go into Avalanche. It could be, but you know, at this point, I'm expecting something like this. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. I don't know. Sorry to say for anybody who doesn't like to hear that. But let me just clear out this stuff. Okay. Generally, the trend lines are the same idea though. And yeah, I mean, the momentum tells me enough. Like, I don't know how much more we're going to go up. Like, they might make the higher move, and instead you're going to get that move, the drop down from here. But basically, whether it's this, okay, or this, Okay, there's just something like that is coming. Okay, I just get the sense. Because again, against the BTC price chart, it's had a nice uptrend. It needs a correction to this degree. It just is going to happen. Look at your negative momentum. You've been killing it for the better part of a year, more than a year, really. So yeah, it could keep going, multi-year bull market, but I think a multi-year bull market also includes corrective moves as well. Or how do you say, counter trend moves of the same degree as the trending moves, okay? And I don't think we've seen a counter trend move of the same degree. We've seen this move trending, counter trend, same degree, trending, counter trend, similar degree, trending, counter trend, similar degree, you know, in that sense, it seems like, at least. So in that way, we're looking for something like this, but in a counter trend sense. Doesn't mean it needs to go down all the way. It means it could go sideways for a while, could chop, whatever, could go down, but maybe make a higher low, okay? Totally. So let's see. I'm not gonna start talking about the turnaround of Luna yet, because do we think it could ever get to the 40,000 Satoshis level? Currently we're at what, 200,000. That would be, let's just play games here on retracement levels. Low to high level type stuff. I'm not saying this is the exact high, I'm not calling it as a top, but that's only a 50% retracement. That's on a bull market stage, that's a great retracement. And I don't see why not. Now, if we want to exclude this move and only do this, then we would be retracing, wow, a nice 61.8%. Again, a nice solid retracement. So fear not, even if it does dump like that, it doesn't mean that, that it's a bad thing overall, but you never know. Let's hide you. Yeah, so there you have it for Luna. Let's get you a couple more here. We'll put different color. Let's put you like that and put you like that. Well, actually, that one's down. Could be pretty red territory. This one is, oh no, we'll put you green territory. That's like looking good. Okay, this one is going to be red territory. Watch out. In fact, that's going to be right here is going to be the red territory. Okay, and then we'll get one more, will be a box. So here and here. And that will be the middle territory. Okay. Wow. Luna price chart. Incredible. This is like super green right down there. Interesting times for the Luna price chart. That's all I gotta say. I mean, wow, to anybody who has seen this markup, if you've seen that markup, you are a legend. Okay, enjoy your markup. Anybody who's buying up here, be wary of markdowns. Okay, that's it for Luna. Hey, none of this is trying to be FUD as well. I'm not trying to FUD anything. I'm just trying to tell you what I see with the charts. And there you go. If you have any Luna friends, send them to that clip with the appropriate timestamp. In fact, if you make any timestamps, why don't you post them in the comments? Any of you who want to, that would be lovely. Now we're on the Atom price chart. Again, we are seeing some positive price action to the upside, but it's kind of weak with this selling small bodies. Look at this big body action, price candles moving to the upside. Weak small body with wicks. Weak, but it's okay. It was a bounce off of the 20-week moving average, 20-week WEEK, 20-week moving average, not weak bounce, WEAK. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at potentially lower high, turn it around. Now, do we see support at this Ichimoku level, horizontal level, horizontal level, horizontal level, horizontal level, horizontal level? Okay, whoa, that's low. Let's just clean that up. So yeah, we're going with too much boxing. I'm going to hide this for now. Okay. That box is basically to say that this is a likely zone that you might see if you break down the Ichimoku cloud. If you're not going to break down the Ichimoku cloud, well, you really got to hold the upper end of this box where it previously held. But then I just don't think so. You were at the lower end of the Bollinger Band. You tapped the upper end twice. Okay, you're getting some support off that 20-week though. Maybe it is setting up to give some sideways action. You are starting into negative, or not starting, but you're into some negative momentum. You're just coming off of a rebound from the like bearish divergence. So I just think that we're coming down here. And it makes sense. Look at this move up, down, up. And then when it comes down here, people are going to be like, oh, it looks so good. Look at that M shape. And there you go. And it'll be true. I bet it will be. I bet it will be looking solid. Then by that time, you'll be at this horizontal level here. Okay. You come down here and then boom, you can come to the underside of this uptrending resistance. So then you come to the underside of that. And then what do? Maybe you just chop for some more time, up, down, whatever. And there is Adam on potentially on a longer term time frame against BTC for the next number of years, maybe for the first 5, 6, 7 years of its life. Maybe its whole life is a big chop against BTC, but maybe for the first while it's a very long accumulation against BTC. And we could even consider those maybe as deviations or something, and like keep it here. Deviations on the lower end, deviations on the upper end. It's accumulating down here. Interesting. That could be some Adam action over time. All right, that's against BTC. And while BTC is going up, possibly, then the Adam USD is also doing the same. And depending on whether it's going up against BTC or down against BTC, that would make it relatively more or less valuable. Okay, interesting. Here's the other option. We're making another move to the upside, and we're going to break out. That's the other option, because we're getting a nice you're getting a nice support here at 20-week. Maybe you do build up enough pressure to the upside. But if you don't break this, I mean, you're going to make a triple top. Yeah, it's possible. Maybe it comes after and then comes down. That's possible. You might. I don't know. Anyway, that's Adam price chart. Just some random thoughts on Adam. Well, not so random, is it? It's quite targeted to whatever I'm seeing in front of me, but random as in maybe they're not ordered or organized. Okay, so here is XTZ, Tezos. We are looking at resistance above. We're at the lower end of the Bollinger Band. Could use a pump to the upper end, horizontal levels. So we're still waiting for that. It's basically where it is. Been grinding out some negative momentum on this horizontal level here. Either that or it's going to dump. I mean, the Bollinger Band tells us that, and so does the momentum indicator. If it doesn't go up from here, it has quite a way to get down here, and it'll be in more of a bearish territory. And of course, that'll follow with this Bollinger Band breaking down, trend line breaking down. Yeah, that's XTZ. I wonder if it will be a true market cycle that does something like this. you know, and at the same time, will it make higher lows, and will it be a market cycle that it has an upward trend over time? Or, you know, I think for anything against BTC to be able to go sideways, I think is a feat of strength. Okay, if you can go sideways over time against BTC and not downtrending over time, that's a feat of strength, in my opinion, for sure, because BTC is the reference point. And now, if you can have an uptrending against BTC over time, then you are really something special, I must say. You're very special market. Okay, and there, I mean, it doesn't have to be rare. It just means that, wow, what a market. Okay, and speaking of which, wow, what a great audience. Thank you for listening. I think we have reached the end of the weekly roundup. Hope it's been helpful for you. Hope it gives you thoughts and considerations for your own charting. And yeah, other than that, I don't really have much else to share. Just wishing you love, peace, and happiness. And until next time, goodbye.